All right, welcome to episode 3 of the Puzhitsky pod. Today we have Aaron Redublo.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh,
Good
yeah.
to be here, man.
Was it episode 4?
Oh, 4.
Yeah, okay.
Good start.
Yeah. I have to start or stop just saying like welcome to episode whatever. I do an intro before anyway, so it's pointless.
Yeah. It'll evolve as you go on.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Right. So how's it going? You're going to Ottawa?
Man. Yeah, dude. Tomorrow.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah.
It's you're opening for
Ron Jossel.
Ron Jossel? That's
Yeah.
cool. Yuck Yucks Ottawa. Cool.
Yeah.
I was just there on my way back from Tremblant.
Dude, that's
I went
sick.
to Mont-Tremblant this
Oh.
weekend, you know? Saw some of the...
What'd you get up to there?
Yeah, we went like kayaking and horseback riding, and I was just... Because I learned how to speak French here in Ontario in like a French school, and the Quebec accent, it makes me want to shoot myself. That's... Bon Lolo, veux-tu un point pits? I don't fucking... It's like, it's so like choppy. Anyways, I'm hating on... I'm being racist, but that's the name of the game.
Was it all locals there that you saw? Or like, was it people like also like who goes there? Or who's around there?
It was mostly local. So we stayed at the main village for the first few days. We were there for 3 days, the long weekend. And the last day, we actually found this little like old Tremblant, this like quaint village that's kind of more with the locals.
Yeah.
And it's really cool. It was less busy, and it felt really kind of like European style. Everybody there was like riding bikes, and like they have the Ironman there every year. So everybody's there's like super fit. It's insane.
It's like one of those like marathon. No, like some kind of like like a
Ironman. Yeah, it's like it's a
marathon thing?
triathlon, I believe, if I'm not wrong.
I know nothing sports related, so
Yeah.
watch this. Like, that's all you had planned to talk about. Just all sports.
No, yeah, it's a triathlon, so it's they just fucking... I saw a guy, we were at the beach, and I saw a guy, this guy must be trained, because he just like literally, he went in the water, and usually, you see people like swimming around. This guy had like a wetsuit on.
Yeah.
He went under, there's like a little buoys, whatever, those like floating thingies that indicate like you can't go past this point. Just like goes under and just starts swimming. He went like 5 kilometers into the middle of this lake and was just swimming. I'm like, what if this guy cramps up?
Yeah.
He's dead. It's like a nightmare.
Everyone's like, he just does that.
Yeah,
He's a regular.
He was just chilling with his wife and kids, and then he's like, "All right, honey, I'm off for my 10-kilometer swim. Like, I'm gonna go say hi to the Loch Ness monster." It was fucked up, but no, it was interesting. It felt like I was in Europe a little bit, because when I go to Europe, I notice like it's cool. You step off of the plane and you're like, wow, people here. Most of the people here can fit into a commercial airplane seat. You know, it's like I don't know. We got some issues here in North America. Like a lot of hamburgers you can buy for $3.
I would say it's like, I don't think it's more noticeably bad in the States though than here. Like here, like we still have it, but I feel like it's not even as bad as like the States. But my frame of reference, I've only ever been to in North America. I haven't even been overseas yet.
Yeah.
I went to the Philippines when I was like 2, but that doesn't really count. Yeah.
True. Yeah, you're so your background is Filipino, I guess?
Filipino, but like I was like born and raised here. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
But so that was my next question. You were born here and raised here. Your parents?
Yeah, my parents are from the Philippines. They actually moved here pretty young too, so they're second generation, or like that makes me second generation Canadian. Like, so they're born in the Philippines, but they pretty much grew up here from when they were around like 5 or 7 years old. Yeah, my mom and my dad, but they are like fluent. They can speak Tagalog like fluently.
Okay, cool.
But so
they came here really young.
Yeah, they came here in like the 70s with their parents, and then they came by themselves at 7.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
I hear Canada has sick bouncy houses. Let's go, bro.
Yeah, they made it on their own, you know. They came here pretty young, and grew up like in like the 80s and stuff, and Gen Xers. Xers. Born in the 60s kind of thing.
But they were raised here, so they still have that kind of It's a different mentality, I can tell you. I've talked at length about my Soviet parents and their effect on me, but like it's you really notice. So you're
So I'd say in that sense, like I joke about it like in my act and stuff, that I'm like, I feel like I'm a little whitewashed, because like my parents are like, like they were born and raised here. They know the culture and they show me the culture, but they didn't teach me how to speak Tagalog. I grew up like fully just English speaking. I actually grew up at Yonge and St. Clair. And I went to school around pretty much all like upper middle class like white people. Like it was a really nice school and everything, but it was a school you'd imagine from like a movie
good.
or something.
All whites, no black.
Yeah, exactly.
Really nice.
It's one of the only other like ethnic people were like Filipinos whose families were like nannies.
Oh, yeah.
One other guy that I knew, his mom was a nanny.
I don't know what it is about like Filipino. They're just so fucking nice. Like there's this little bagel shop here. And just like there's this like 3 Filipino ladies that work there. If ever I'm ever having a bad day, I just walk there and like they say like, "Oh, how's it going, honey?" Like they know my order. They call me like honey or sweetie, and it just makes me happy.
No, it's very hospitable culture, you know, like super like welcoming, like family oriented, like, you know, trying to make sure you're well fed and everything. It's like very comparable to, but what I imagine people say about Italians, but like maybe nicer. I don't know.
I've never heard that stereotype that Italians are nice. Hold on, we got.
No, I'm saying but nice, except nice.
Yeah,
but in terms of like making sure you're fed and everything, and like that sort of thing, and like family, you know, like all the fam jams are like, you know, all the cousins and the aunts and titas and titos there and all that.
Yeah, you have a TikTok, Tito Please.
Tito
right?
Please.
Yeah. Anna, can you turn off the AC, please? We got some background noise. Sorry. For the audience's listening pleasure, you know, you can't have that background noise.
Yeah, Matt wants us to just like sweat to death.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna start sweating, and that's how we know.
I'm gonna unleash the layers. I actually have a tank under here.
Oh, so there we go.
At some point,
that's your signature move. You take off the
I didn't mean
tank
for that
top.
to happen.
I know.
It just kind of went that way.
Yeah.
Like I tried to like get
you're
away
like
from
Bert
it.
Kreischer, but not fat. So instead of like your thing being like a big belly, you're just jacked. Like
like my coworker tried to tell me, like, it's funny, I didn't even know who he was, but this is how I found out. My coworker goes to me like, "Oh, you could be like the Filipino Matt Rife," and I'm like, "Who the fuck's that?" And I looked, I'm like, "Oh, whoa, he's hot."
Yeah. That's true. And he's like he was a skinny kid, and he has that. I just saw his like he was on like.
What is it about Matt's and being hot?
No comment.
I'm making him uncomfortable here.
Yeah. He's my main competition. It's the battle of the mass. I'm slightly behind at this point, but we'll get there. We'll get there.
Yeah, next week you're good.
Next
you pretty
week.
much got him. You got him.
Yeah. I just need a couple.
No, but man, do you have, if you don't mind me asking you some questions?
Like, sure. Yeah. No, but like, jack my podcast.
I think we talked about it like briefly before, but like, when did you actually start doing like skits and stuff?
Like I've been actively posting for about like 5 years, I would say. Yeah. So I don't know, what are we, like 2018, 19, something like that?
Yeah, it's about the same for me, actually. We talked about this before, but But yeah, like, and it started with like skits mainly, like for you, like, and that's how you gained your audience kind of thing. Yeah,
just literally just that. Like I had a little notebook with like jokes, and because I was always a fan of comedy, initially intended for like the stage, and then I, you know, like there's TikTok, and it wasn't even skits at first. It was just little monologues, right? Just kind of just trying the jokes out, just like saying, you know, like commenting on whatever, like you know, the weather, whatever, just saying something funny. And a few of those got some traction.
What was the first one that you noticed that, like, from nothing, like when you first got something? What was the very first one of that? If you got to remember that, like the first like one where you're like, whoa. Like,
the first one when I was like, whoa, was actually not even that long. It was only last year that this like Americans in Europe thing.
Oh, so I know about that one. Yeah. I wasn't sure if there was one before that like.
Well, yeah, before that I got some that were like, you know, like never over a million, but like, you know, like 500, like, you know. Like,
yeah, that's still good. Yeah.
Like,
and that was that on Instagram? Was it always Instagram?
No, it was first only TikTok.
Oh, your original. Okay.
Yeah, and then I kind of like I just downloaded all of the videos and stared posting them on Instagram.
Yeah, it's on the same way. Yeah. Except, it's a very similar thing for me, but I started on YouTube.
Yeah, I noticed. Yeah, all your videos are landscape.
Yeah,
as opposed to
portrait. I had a DSLR.
Nice.
And I filmed it like this, like, you know, like I would hold it like, it was very like pretty much the way we film now, like on the phone, but like I just use a DSLR.
Yeah, because at the time it was like an iPhone 6, so the quality is not great.
Yeah, and my dad just gave that to me, like, and I had it, you know, and I just, so at that point, like, I'd always like had ideas, and I had like, just background too, like I only started stand-up a year ago, so I've been doing these skits since like 2018, like same as you. And it started like I used to work at Metro, like at the grocery store, and I was a cashier, and I had like all these like weird customer interactions, and I would like run the receipt paper, rip the paper, and then I would just like write like ideas based on shit that was happening to me. Like if some like weird customer interaction I would run the receipt paper, and then I would just write like even just like the basic, like maybe there's something here. Sometimes I had the whole joke. Sometimes, you know how it is.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
you sometimes will just think of like maybe there is something there and just write that down.
That's so important when you have an idea to just write it down, because you never
right
know.
away.
Like the way these things work, it's never like you have a genius idea, whether it's a bit or a skit. It's never just like, very rarely. Sometimes it's like it just works, but usually it's just like a piece of a puzzle, that kind of a light bulb, and then you write it down, and then like the next day or the next week some like another piece will come together, and then eventually you have an idea that's workable.
Yeah, because it's all, I think it stems from like at least like, okay, I know I have something I want to say about that. Yeah. But you don't always know what the joke is yet, but you know that I feel like I have something to say here. Yeah. You know? So.
Yeah, you have a premise. You have like something, because it always stems for something that's either like something that is very common, like something that's socially acceptable, but if you really like get to the root of it, you're like, why? That's weird, or something like just something you have that like a unique take on. Yeah. It might just be an idea, but the premise is always the first thing, and then you kind of put together like a good way of doing it. Sometimes I film a skit and I'm like, fuck, there was a better way to do that, but you know. Yeah,
I find that I feel like there's a lot of time, especially with skits, it's very different than like stand-up. Like with stand-up, it's like you write the joke and you go up, and seeing it in front of the crowd is like how you find out how it is, right? Yeah. But like with a skit, it's very different. Like you write it, you film it, you edit it, but like you're also critiquing yourself in the edit, and you're finding it sometimes in the edit. And then but again, like then when it's out there, then you put it out there and that's it. But the thing I love about stand-up is that like we go out night after night and just try to like figure it out, you know, like in real time. Yeah, it's the only thing you have to practice in front of a live audience, right? Yeah, you have to. Like it doesn't work any other way. Yeah, you can't just train in front of the mirror, like go through your tight. But that's where like, so did you find that you already knew that going into when you started stand-up, or did you like I forgot, I saw you pretty early on, but I don't remember like, I might have seen one of the earliest times. I think I remember seeing you. It was probably at like Nothing Fancy or something like that. Yeah, back when that was a thing. Yeah. Come a long way. You know? Yeah, I know. Yeah, clubs come and gone. Yeah, clubs come and gone. No, but it was, so when I was doing, like I was so used to coming from like the skits, right? So when I came into doing stand-up, I treated it at first more like very scripted. Yeah. I like rehearsed it so many times. And then it's after that first time, because you're not even like, at least for me when I first went up, it was like, I wasn't even thinking about the crowd. I was just like thinking about making sure I'm saying this whole thing. It was like acting. Yeah. Like I treated it more like acting than I did like stand up. And there's definitely an aspect to that, because like you have jokes eventually that you're trying tags, and eventually you get one that you know works, and that kind of, if you've repped it enough times, it kind of becomes autopilot. So it is almost going off a script, but I don't think you can have that in your head. Like the best sets you always have is when you're not thinking about the next word to say, when you're present with the crowd, laughing with them, right? Yeah. Just having a good time. And you're really like, I try to like picture, just like believe in what I'm saying, right? Like if I'm telling a story about, living alone, or like eating fucking pizza, whatever. Like I imagine like whatever I'm saying, whatever point I'm making, I imagine myself doing that thing and like really believing, not just going through the motions. That's the key, because we do it so often that it's really easy to do that, right? Yeah, but that's where it's like you start to have fun. Like that's where it made me understand like the whole thing of like you gotta like tell the jokes like so many times to like get it ingrained, and then once you know it, then you can just have fun with it because you know the joke already. But like it takes a while to get to the point of even knowing what the joke is sometimes. Yeah, like all the little tags that you like. That's the whole point of the open mics and all that. Exactly. Yeah. It was an interesting experience going into that. Like you can't treat it like it's scripted, because it's live comedy. That's the whole point. It's an interaction with the crowd. Like it's like sometimes you'll have some kind of like a heckler or whatever, and usually it's not a good thing. But sometimes they'll make the jokes a million times better if they say the right thing. Like it's a weird thing, but that's what makes it exciting. It's like really like I hear people always say it's like a heckle's never good. Like it can make the crowd laugh, but like it depends on how the comic deals with it, right? Yeah. So like it could derail the set if it fucks with the comic. Yeah. Like whether or not what they say is good, So it's like that's where it's like it's not always malicious. Sometimes a lot of the time they're trying to help. Yeah. But they don't understand. It's tough. So like there's a few ways to deal with it. You can either roll with it, and you have to make sure that what you say is funnier
one, or you can tell them to shut the fuck up. The problem with that is that usually it works, but once you tell them to shut the fuck up, that's kind of like you're on the offense. The next thing you say, like they shut up, but it's quiet, everybody's listening to you. That next like few words that come out of your mouth better be fucking hilarious, because if you tell someone to shut the fuck up and then you bomb, that's tough. But if you tell someone to shut the fuck up and finish your joke and it does great, there we go, you're good.
Yeah, I try to like, depending on what it is they say, like you want to like just very quickly address it, like and depending on what it is, whether or not it's relevant to what you're already talking about. Like if it, you know, this is where it guess comes down to like proficiency and just like practice, like, you know, to like
just practice how to calling people gay. You're gay. Shut up.
You're gay. This picture, it's like it's all like together. You know, like the content actually got you, and it directly relates to the stand up now. Like at least in the sense of like that got you the audience to be able to do stand up.
Exactly.
So now that's so much the wave of like the way things are done now. You have to kind of have an audience, like at least coming up now.
Yeah, nowadays, like you don't have to do Just for Laughs or get on CBC or get on the Tonight Show. It's like if you're, and it's great because there isn't that barrier to entry. It doesn't have to be some guy who's a producer that sees you and says this guy will probably. It's not one person's opinion. It's just like be funny. Fucking put it on the internet and people come, period. If you're funny, you will make it. That's it. Right? There's
the hard work, the consistency. You have to just keep doing it.
There's literally no barrier to entry, and that's amazing. That's the most equal opportunity thing that there can be. There's no more, you don't have to like cast, you know, diverse, or just be funny. That's it, all right? So it's great. It's fucking amazing. And like, you know, a lot of people just like don't do it, and it's like their loss, you know? Like, there's a lot of hilarious people too that just refuse to try to, you know, play the game essentially, right? And it is work. You have to learn how to like everything that we do, like putting into the skits. Like we're writers, producers, actors, editors. Social media analysts, you know, like fucking promoters. We're doing all these, wearing all these hats at once. Like, man, if you want to be a stand-up comedian, right? Like you think that's like a joke, like what do? Like you just think of jokes all day, write them in your little notepad? No, like get ready to get out there and fucking be all these things, because that's what it takes.
And that's actually a good way, like it made me understand, because I was through this, like it was like a good like resume to like get work, like in terms of like, you know, like content creation stuff. Like there's actual companies that like hire that want people that can be the face of something.
Absolutely. You know? That's you know, that's the main way that I'm monetizing everything I'm doing right now, is just by making skits for companies, because companies see your stuff online. They see that you have the kind of skill to put together a skit and that people find relatable or funny, right? And they say, here's a product, see if you can do something with this, right? And they let you do it. And that is an absolute skill, right? Like not everybody can do that.
No, it's good, man. You're really grinding it out. Like, and the fact that you're pretty much doing it like full time, right? Like
now full time, I defended my thesis successfully. I'm a fucking master chemist now, no big deal. I know how to make the drugs and stuff. So I know how to make drugs, but I don't know how to make eggs. So it's tough. But now I'm a full-time comedian.
5 more years to make the eggs.
Exactly. 5 more years to make the eggs. Maybe I'll learn as a comic how to fucking make eggs when I'm in the middle of
What's
nowhere.
your preferred way of eating eggs?
I don't know. I feel like scrambled is pretty bland. Over easy, maybe.
Depending on how it's done. Like, have you done the Gordon Ramsay way?
Oh, yes. Where you have to like slow, like with the butter.
Yeah, you do it low heat. Yeah. You have the butter like diced in there, and you're constantly churning it while, and you're taking it on and off the heat. Yeah. And you put like chives in. Yeah. And I didn't do it. What's that? There's one thing that he puts this like, it's like this whip type stuff. This like Cool
Whip?
It's not Cool Whip, but it looks like
it's not butter.
Yeah, no, it looked like Cool Whip, but it's some other shit. It was
I don't know, it's just whip butter.
It was some French name. It was like
I have no idea.
Fresh? Is that a thing?
Oh, creme. Yeah. I think so. I think that's a thing.
It looked like Cool Whip when I saw him use it. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I saw that video though. It's all about like constantly like agitating the eggs, taking it slow. It's kind of like, you know, kind of like you're with a woman, you know? Like in bed. That's what I like to do.
Yeah, you use the fork in there.
No, I come quick. I come quick because
put the fork in the eggs.
Because I respect women, and
me too.
I know they have places to be, so I don't want to take up any more of their time than they need to. You know what I mean? right?
Yeah.
You got things to do. So do I. We're busy people, just in and out. It's all good.
Yep.
Yeah. So so what do you do full time?
I work at the gym.
That's sick. Good Life?
Yes.
I have a Good Life membership for all.
Yeah.
It's not only an Ontario thing. It's a Canada-wide.
It's Canada-wide,
okay.
except for Quebec.
Except for Quebec?
Yeah,
there we
randomly.
go. They can't even fucking...
Yeah, they're not allowed.
Yeah. That's I have a Good Life membership. It's amazing. It's like they're everywhere, which is the best thing about it.
Yeah.
Like you can go... I went to Kingston and there was a Good Life there.
No,
like,
it's clutch. It's very
great.
clutch. Like so I've been there on and off for like a few years. I stayed through like the first lockdown, and like when I don't know if you were going to gyms when they first reopened in COVID.
Yeah.
And like the whole like
Yo, I've been on that grind,
20 people can go in at once.
Oh my god,
in an
that
hour.
sucked.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
I was working there during that first wave of that, and it's like it was the worst.
Yeah.
Because they only really had like 45 minutes to work out, but it's supposed to be hour-long blocks.
Yeah.
But we had to use like half an hour to clean in between. It was awful. It was
the
worst.
So do you you work at the gym, but I'm assuming you work out yourself.
Oh,
You're a
yeah.
big gym
Free
guy?
membership. Yeah.
Free membership.
Yeah.
That's sick. That's
take
sick.
advantage. Yeah.
Do you do any sports or do you just lift?
No, just sports. I was in school. I was always like more of like an arts guy. I feel like
guy?
a lot of I want to say every comic, but I feel like a lot of comics are like either like a theater kid or like did art. Like I did like art and theater. Like I took drama throughout high school, but it was funny because I was the tallest in my family, but it's like everyone always joke I was like a waste of height because I'm like six. Yeah. I'm like 6, right? I'm not quite 6'1". I'm like 6.5.
Yeah, 6.5.
Yeah,
okay,
not quite 6'1".
Yeah, that's the ideal height. I think 6 feet is the ideal height.
No, yeah.
Because once you get any taller, like, what are you doing?
Yeah, there's no point. It's ridiculous at that point.
Yeah, I feel like 5'11", 6 feet, anywhere between there.
Yeah.
But that's good. So no other sports, just lifting. How long have you been lifting for?
Since I first ever started working out after I saw The Dark Knight Rises.
Ooh,
when
that's
Bane,
cool.
that made everyone want to.
Yeah.
Wait, are you around how old are you?
I'm 24.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Fuck. Wait, do you know how old I am?
No, I don't.
Take a guess.
I think maybe a few years older than me, like 26, something like that.
Yeah, close.
Close?
Yeah.
How old are you?
29.
29. Okay.
Yeah. I like it because like, people think I'm like 22 or 21 sometimes, which I take it as a compliment.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's just erase that. I'm 23.
Yeah, I'm 23.
I'm 22.
I've been doing comedy for 10 years.
Yes.
I'm a veteran. Please
I'm a
book me
veteran,
at your show.
I started when I was 12.
Yeah.
No, but wait, what was I last saying? I was saying about what was it before that?
Yeah, how long when you started working out, essentially.
Yes. Okay, 2012. After I saw The Dark Knight Rises, saw Bane try to get those traps.
Yeah.
So my dad actually wrote me like a workout routine, and he gave me a few dumbbells.
That's cool.
Yeah. He gave me like 25s, 30s, 15s. And
over
it was enough
COVID?
To do, 2012.
What'd you do over COVID though with the dumbbells? Did you have?
So I worked out at the gym for like, I guess was that roughly 7-8 years, and then COVID hit.
So it's 7, 8. So you started when you were like high school?
Out. Like I had worked out.
Yeah.
No, actually just after.
Just after. Okay.
Literally the summer after is when that movie came out. Like
cool.
I didn't touch any weights. I was like the least athletic guy in school. I would like run 2 feet and then like my chest would be burning. Like I'm still that. Like my cardio is still awful.
Yeah.
I think people think because like I'm like I look fit that they think I like maybe can run far, but no. I'm like that's one thing. Like if you want to like outrun me, like it'd be very easy.
Yeah, that's so I used to be the same. I started in high school and I was just focused on lifting. I've been playing sports my whole life, like martial arts, snowboarding, that. But once I started lifting more and more, I had less time for sports and I kind of was neglecting cardio. Yeah. And now I'm the opposite. As I get older and I kind of like feel like, oh, my knee, my ankle, what the fuck? I'm starting to like actually stretch, do mobility and do cardio.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, I think like when you're really young, you don't really care about that stuff. But then as you get older, like you care more about like, you start to feel your joints and all that. And like you understand that like posture matters. And as I'm like slouching.
Yeah, me too. I literally
I still do. I'm like, I have to remind myself to like have my shoulders back because I always naturally like I'm going like this.
Slouch. Now you have to be close to the mic.
You have to actively like train yourself to like be like this,
Yeah.
Have you ever done like you've probably done like physio or like chiro and stuff.
Yeah. A little bit. I fucking love chiropractors. Dude, that cracking shit is like.
You watch those videos?
I do watch those videos, bro. It's like a fucking. I don't know. Is it even a kink? I don't know. There should be.
No, there's one.
There has to be a category.
I know my favorite video. It's just more like the crack itself is so satisfying. There's guys that like do the thing where they use that neck thing and they just
snap your spine.
Yeah, no, they just do it just for the sake of getting the crack. But like my favorite video where it like helped the guy and it was so satisfying is like, do you ever see that? I think it was like Dr. Ian or something. He's some Australian chiro.
No, honestly, I've probably seen him.
You ever go down the YouTube rabbit hole?
Oh, I absolutely do. There's this Texas guy,
I guess I know to the point where I hear them talk and stuff. Like I watch the whole video when I hear them talk.
Dude, it's basically softcore porn. Half of these, it's like women in like tight yoga pants.
Oh yeah, all the thumbnails.
They just,
I did a skit that was something like that, basically. Yeah, where it's like making fun of. Like I think I did the thumbnail with like the ass out and stuff. Yeah, it actually got. I'm pretty sure like. They like made me change it or something.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is weird because I've seen like worse like on YouTube. It's like they have like the TNA Lululemon pants on and it's just ass right in the
I feel like it's good that you're just lifting because like my thing with sports is that I'm so competitive. Whenever I start doing something, I get obsessed with it. Like I would be like I play golf, I do martial arts, I play tennis. Anything I do, it's either I'm very competitive or I play for so much money with my friends, with my boys, just like ping pong. We'll bet hundreds of dollars on a given night. We'll go out. So I'm scared to like if I played like pickleball, I'll have to play for money. And who's good at pickleball? Like fucking senior citizens.
Yeah, I don't even know what that is.
Yeah. So I'll be like at the fucking retirement home with Gretchen playing for soft caramels. I don't want to be that guy. You know what I mean? So I don't want to pick up like any more sports. I'm like, okay, just get better at the ones you already do and like spend enough money on them already. I'm just too competitive. But so most of your stuff is on YouTube, I guess.
Yeah, right? So it started on YouTube.
Which is really good. YouTube is the hardest thing. Like Instagram, TikTok, like I mean, maybe because I've broken into those kind of, I say it's easier, but YouTube is tough. Like I repost all my stuff on YouTube.
Instagram's a little harder now too, but like you already like kind of got you had those crazy videos on there. Yeah. And now actually, I think no matter what it is, it's all about consistency. Because just now I'm starting to gain traction on YouTube. Now my reels are finally getting, like a couple of thousand, 10,000 in the Ks, right? Like, so now people are finally subscribing. Because even if you have a few videos get a couple thousand views, people don't always subscribe. You have to consistently put out good content. I think the shorts, because the shorts was like a new inclusion in the last few years, that definitely probably amplified the process, right? Yeah. It was very hard.
Back then, when it was long form.
Yeah, like I don't even know
long form.
I don't even know if it ever would have. But it's funny because I was doing it basically as shorts before
shorts existed.
Because if you look, it's all like sub 1 minute videos. But this is like a few years ago before. So all the traction was through Reddit actually.
Oh, really? Yeah,
because a friend of mine told me about this thing where if you post videos that are 30 seconds or less, like I think he posted one of mine that I did, which was about like customers with coupons. Yeah. And then it fucking went viral. It was crazy. And then that gave me like the first 2,000 subs in like one night.
Nice.
And I was like, whoa.
Actually, my first video that went viral. So the first one you asked me, it was the Americans in Europe, right? Yeah. And it was just, I was basically a year ago in August. So like exactly a year ago, I was in like some small Spanish village with my buddy, and we were looking over this beautiful landscape, and I'm like, yo, just film me. He's like, okay, whatever. It's some stupid like gay story for his Instagram. Yeah. And then he like pans over to me, and I'm like looking at this beautiful like ocean, just like this beachside cliffs. Like that would be a perfect spot for a 6-lane highway. Yeah. And then just stuff like that, right? Yeah. And that exploded. I posted that like overnight, 1 million views, and then like literally on Reddit too, because I have friends that don't have social media. They're on Reddit, and they sent me like, yo, I see you on Reddit. Yeah. So they just like, it's when they say viral, they mean viral. It's like fucking everywhere. For a span of however long that lasts. Yeah. But now the algorithms are different on both TikTok and Instagram. I feel like they're much more slow kind of leaking. Now the videos for me, especially on Instagram, that go viral, they start off like a couple thousand, maybe like if you're lucky in the first few days, like over 10,000, and then like randomly a week later it'll just pop up by like 100K.
Yeah, a comic showed me, you've probably seen this, but it's crazy. Like there was a video, I forgot the name of the comic, but a comic from Toronto. Yeah. This guy from England, his name's Massey. He showed me a clip of like a buddy of his that was doing an act out of like the slow-mo of celebrating about a score.
Yeah, that was all over the place.
But then he showed me that like 5 days before that happened. And he's like, yo, this is my mate. Like, it's hilarious. And I was like, yo, that's funny. And then 5 days later, I wasn't paying attention, but he said, yo, dude, he's like blowing up.
Yeah.
And it was like just a few days later. It was insane.
Yeah. So the one clip. And then I literally heard Shane Gillis talking about that on some podcast. The slow-mo like goal celebration. Yeah. I saw that too. It was really funny.
They posted on like ESPN and like I saw like fucking like Bill Burr liked it. It was crazy. Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah, so that's the way it works now. And that's what I'm saying, right? Like you put something out there. Obviously there's something about that. Like it's funny. It's good. It's like it's cool.
Yeah,
a lot of people
weird
like it.
But it's weird though that like how popular it isn't necessarily dictate. Like would you say that like if something is just like a certain amount of good, like it's not destined to get seen? You know what I mean?
You mean like if something's
like the odds of something going viral is still very like, you know, coming from nothing is like slim, but something like that, like it was really good. That like but like, you know, who knows if that, you know, in another situation, like if that would happen, you know what I mean?
You mean if you posted it like at a different time or like slightly
something
different?
Like that. It's impossible and really
you know what I noticed about that kind of stuff, at first when I started posting, like I was like, okay, what are the optimal times to post? What's the best caption? What are the best hashtags? But what I noticed is that all that shit doesn't really matter. No, like it's just good content.
Just keep putting it out. The consistency. Oh, bless you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
But no, yeah, I'd say just the consistency.
The consistency. Keep putting it out. If it's good, people will. Look, like that's what I'm gonna stop calling it the algorithm or whatever. I'm just gonna start calling it like viewers. Like the it's not the algorithm doesn't like it. It's the viewers don't like it, right? Yeah. If it's good, it will do well. Period. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Period. Right. Yeah. It's not about like there is a thing for YouTube. Like Mr. Beast. You know, he's fucking hacked the code. I was watching a lot of podcasts of him explaining like it's all about thumbnail, hook in the first few seconds, and stay on topic. That kind of stuff, right? Yeah. Like a lot of keys that people don't necessarily, but that's kind of like the basics that a lot of people don't do with their videos, right? Yeah. They're all over the place. But again, these are things you learn by staying consistent. Like you figure this out on your own eventually, right? You're like, okay, you posted a video that got 1 million views. Okay, I did something right there. You post another one that gets 1,000 views. Okay, what's the difference, right? Yeah. What is the denominator that differentiates these two things, and how do I keep replicating the one that gets 1 million views? And eventually you just kind of figure it out. And it's not like all my videos definitely don't get 1 million views, but I'm fucking trying, right? I'm putting stuff out, and like so are you. I'm very happy that like you didn't used to do it on Instagram. And I love like I think we had a conversation before you stopped. Yeah. I don't know if that like kind of like pushed you to like actually start doing it or not. But I love to see that, because I always tell people like, you know, you ask me like how, you know, why do you like, because you already knew how to make good content. You did it on YouTube, right? Yeah. And then like guys have asked me like, how do you do it on Instagram or this? I'm like, just like stop thinking about it and just fucking do it. Yeah. Just put it out there.
You have to just, it's like anything, like, you know, you're not going to know until you do it, and you're going to figure out your process. You're going to, you know, it's just by doing that, you're going to see all the like, it's impossible. Like, I think people get too hung up on thinking that first thing they do, it has to hit. And you can't be scared of that and like think that you can't like do it because of that. You have to just have the consistency. There has to be a level of enjoyment too. You have to enjoy it, you know?
Oh yeah, for sure. That's a huge deal. Yeah. And like with anything, honestly, like whether it's going to the gym, right? Or posting content, like there is, you can't, if you're, I don't know if you are very strict with your diet, but if you're one of those like strict, like no carb or like, you know, keto diets, if you do one of those things that you hate, yes, the results will be there for the week that you do it, but then you're going to quit that shit and never do it again. You have to find a way to actually trick your brain into enjoying what you're doing
and make it sustainable.
Yeah. That's what I said. Like with posting content or going to the gym, it's much better to go to the gym 6 times a week and fuck around than go every day for 2 weeks and then never do it for a year, but be very strict with your regimen.
So that's where
consistency over like meticulous, like planning exactly what I'm gonna do.
No, yeah.
You know, that's
So that's
not
where
sustainable.
my goal to make it like realistic and sustainable over like the 5 years I did it was, my thing was like my videos were really like I like really crafted it where like I wrote the script, I really like poked holes in it, filmed it. I did one a week.
Yeah.
But I felt like that was enough time to make like really put enough effort into the writing process, into the filming and editing, and like without feeling burnt out with my current with my lifestyle at the time. So now it's like it's that balance, because it's like now you're doing stand up, you're doing that, you're in a good position because like you don't have a day job, so you can afford to just do you're in a good spot, man. Like you can just do the content now. Like us peasants have a day job, and I have to find that balance of making the content in there somewhere.
I'm still struggling. Like, so yesterday I opened for the Christina Puzhitsky. Shout out Christina.
I was gonna actually bring that up, but yeah.
And we were just sitting there, and she was talking about like she had me order Uber Eats for her, and I'm like, what do you want? She's like, whatever, just make sure that it has $5 signs beside it. I'm like, okay, cool. I can't afford rent or fucking to pay my water bill, but it was just surreal to see that, like, she did what she loved for that long. And she told me she dropped out of law school. She was struggling for a while. Her and Tom at the beginning, their podcast, it was getting a couple of views, and they kept doing it, and then it went to a couple hundred, and then to a couple thousand, and now they're where they are. And like, she just inspired me so much, because like she sold out a fucking theater in Toronto by doing what she loves, and she's just living the life. So like, dude. And it's unreal. So that was very inspiring. She figured it out, so that's cool. You can do it. And she's so fucking nice too. Like, that's what I noticed. Like the couple of comics that I've met that are very successful, right? They're just nice. You see guys in Toronto that haven't necessarily made it. There's a lot of like, bitterness, or like what is it like?
I can see it. Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Salt.
It's very salty. Tastes like McDonald's fries. But like, man, the people, for some reason, and I'm sure there's exceptions, but usually the people that do make it, they're so nice, they're giving back, and it's because like that's what got them there. They're hanging out with other people that made it, and that kind of mentality takes you so much further than like analyzing what other people are doing, right? It's just like, put your blinders on and do your thing, right? Forget about everybody else. Like, you're not going to succeed doing what other people are doing. You're going to succeed. If you will succeed, you're going to succeed by being original. And the only way you can do that is like, what the fuck is in your heart? What's in there? Put that out, because nobody else will do the same thing.
But then and then as soon as you start playing that like compare game, that's when you can fuck yourself up, you know, where it's like, get in your head about like, oh, why are they there and I'm here?
Yeah, and it's so cliche. You've heard it a million times, but it's so true. Like, and it's hard to do. I do it all the time. Like, I don't think there's anybody that doesn't compare themselves. It's just a good mental practice to catch yourself and to minimize it as much as possible. Right? So like, it's just, that's what, we're human at the end of the day. It's like, it's natural. So don't fucking beat yourself up. But yeah, so you're opening this weekend at Yuck Yuck's Ottawa, but you also did Jokers recently in like a pretty big crowd. How was that? Dude,
that was insane. Like, for me, like at that point, I had last performed, my most up until then was like 70 people, and that was like pretty full. Like that was in New York.
Nice.
That was
How
fun.
was that, by the way?
Okay,
I'll let you finish the Jokers.
I'll say it in order, because like New York was first.
I
did that earlier this month, or last month I should say, August.
Nice. Just visiting?
No, I was opening for Ron there, Ron Jossel as well.
Nice.
There. And it was pretty much close to a full house. Like, it was like, I'd say like 70-ish people, like possibly more. The Broadway Comedy Club, and I have to look up how many that seats, but it was like pretty full, and it was a majority like a lot of tourists, or like just people from all over. Like, I feel like New York is a lot of that in general at this point, where it's not just New Yorkers, just because so many people go to New York, right? So it was a lot of, I know, people from like Australia, like Houston, Ireland, all over. Cool. Weird. It's so random. Like, it was, and it was amazing. Like, it was a fun room. Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, and then you did Jokers, which was like a pretty. I've never been there. I actually have to reach out to the guy. I want to do it a lot.
It was my first time doing it, and it was like it was a crazy first time to do it because it was like that actually sold out. It was like, I think that room seats like 230 people, something like that.
Cool.
I had to Google it because I wasn't sure. But yeah, dude, that was insane because it was, like exponentially more than what I had done up until that point. And the thing that the added thing was that like a lot of my family was there. It was the first time my dad seen me, and my stepmom. But like my mom, a lot of my family had seen me before, but I wasn't. Weirdly, I don't know. I have this thing. I know some people are like really like freaked out about the idea of performing in front of their parents.
Yeah.
But I think it's maybe because I know my parents.
Maybe because your parents are nice to you.
No, that's what it is. Yeah, like so that's leads into what I said earlier about like, my parents were kind of second generation raised here. They have like a chill sensibility. Like they're pretty like when I say I'm like raised like not to say whitewashed. Like they still have the culture, but they're very like new wave in that way. Like they're chill.
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
They have a good sense of humor.
Yeah.
And
like my parents. This was so last night. My parents saw me for the first time performing ever as well, and I didn't even want them to like. They knew I was opening for Christina. Yeah. And they're like, "Where are our tickets?" I'm like, "Well, I mean, like, do you really want to go? Like, like it's up to you. I'll get you tickets if you want." And they're like, "Yeah, we want to go." And so the first time they saw me is at a sold out theater, and they were actually like, I think that might have been the first time my dad actually like kind of said he's proud of me in his own way. He didn't verbatim say it, but I knew he was, and that was a nice moment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's pretty cool to see that, but I know it's just like you can't. They have their own mentality. You can't.
But like for you and knowing what your relationship with your dad was, that's got to be a big deal. Right?
Yeah. It was.
Must have felt good.
It was pretty emotional. Yeah, but
that's good, man.
But it's funny because like I'm telling dick jokes in front of 1,000 people and now my dad's proud of me. So that's life's crazy.
Now you just can only take them to those 1,000 seat venues.
Yeah. Imagine I take them to an open mic. It's like two drunk guys at 2 a.m. on a Tuesday. They're like, okay, well we take that back. You fucking stop. Go get a job.
Yeah.
Because that's what it is, right? So what do you think?
That's what all the work is.
You've done now. Like pretty big rooms where the crowd was hot. Well, great, right? The bigger the room, like usually if somebody can sell out a theater, the crowd is there to laugh. They want to see you perform. Like it's so much easier than an open mic. Like
because they're there for you. They paid a ticket to be there, so they want to laugh.
Yeah.
But with an open mic, it's like people. It's a mix of like the comics that are just waiting to get on, thinking about what they're gonna say, and people just eating their food, having their drinks. They really don't give a shit. Yeah. But like once in a while, like there's certain rooms that have good audience that
for sure
that watch the comedy, which so those ones are like good. There's a few of those in the city that with audience that pay attention. So I feel like we're lucky in that sense. We get to perform once in a while in front of like at open mics, like at with some audience once in a while. Yeah.
The thing is, like you say that, but there's not one without the other. You can't go and do well in front of a packed room if you don't go to the gym.
Yeah,
like
you have to.
The gym, right? The open mic.
Yeah.
And practice your jokes, right?
Oh yeah, you have to.
So you gotta. There's no, there's no shine without the nitty gritty. So you gotta do both.
Did you say anything? Like I know you probably riffed a lot at the show. Yeah. But were there any jokes that you had like prepared that you just told then for the first time? Or
just mostly about the last name stuff because our last names are very similar. So I'm like, I'm actually her bastard son, stuff like that. And like I tried to. So again, it's a theater. And when I host a show, I opened, I did 10 minutes off the top and I hosted. When you host a show, you can't just go straight into your material. You got to warm up the crowd. That's the whole point of the host. You got to warm up the crowd a little bit. So what I normally do at a show is just a little bit of crowd work. Like, what's going on? What are we doing tonight? Where are you guys coming from? Like what, like how do you guys know each other? What's your greatest fear? Fucking anything, whatever. Just get to know the crowd. And that gives comics, first of all, that warms up the crowd. Second of all, it gives comics. Like I hosted a show just this week, right? With you.
Yeah.
Was it this week or last week?
Last so week. A week today.
Yeah, exactly.
A week ago today, yeah.
So, and like, I was trying to fish out some stuff for you guys to riff off of, right? So you know a little bit about the crowd. You can use that to your advantage, right? Yeah. And you did that. You used it. I remember you used it in your own set.
Yeah, the clip that you posted, I riffed off
Bumble,
that. The Bumble BFF.
BFF stuff. Yeah, there you go, right? Yeah. And you can't really do that in the theater I mean, you can, but it's tougher because there's so many people, and like they'll say something, and if they say something, you have to repeat it because the people in the fucking in the other floor can't hear it. Yeah, so you can't really do that. So what I tried to do to make them feel like the show was personal, right, is to do local stuff, which for me is easy because I'm a Toronto comic. I have so many jokes about the fucking TTC, the homeless people, the government, fucking Trudeau, whatever. Like I did that stuff to make them feel at home. So it wasn't like my tight 10. No, I riffed off of like our last names. I'm like, and it's so easy. The energy is there. You just hype them up. It was so cool just walking. I walk out to fucking Simon Says, you know, fucking dun 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 dun, rub on your titties. So I fucking walk out to the most like ridiculous song, and you just fucking feel like a rock star. You're like, "What's up, Toronto? What are we doing tonight?"
That must have been amazing,
dude.
Yeah.
And then it closed out the show. I fucking stood up there like, "Have a good night, Toronto." I felt like a fucking rock star. Yeah, it's a little taste. It's a little taste. You know, that'll get me through some tough nights for sure. Yeah, and just like come home. Like sometimes, man, like you know, I'm sure you've had it. You come home after like bombing at an open mic, and you're like, "Fucking, what am I doing?"
Yeah, I had that on Tuesday. I went home crying. I called in sick actually. Yeah, yeah, that's how bad it was.
There we go. So and like, you know, you can close your eyes and think about that night at the Joker's.
Exactly.
You can, you know,
keeps you going.
Yeah, exactly. You need a little bit of that little carrot at the end of the stick.
But the thing, it's funny. You need to have those bombs because it's like, I think.
Oh yeah, you do.
No, because it keeps you humble. Yeah. Because if you have too many good sets, and I found like I've been having like a good amount of good sets lately. Yeah. That like the bombs are like. But it's also because it hits more when you have a lot of good, but it's good because it keeps you like leveled out, you know. Yeah. And I think it was mainly because I've been doing a lot of like my worked out stuff, like my trustworthy material, like my act. And
to actually develop, you need to take risks. So like bombing isn't necessarily a bad thing. You have to have a balanced
it's required.
Diet, you know?
Yeah, like you know, like sometimes you can write like a fire joke off the top, but like a lot of the time, if it's like a longer bit, you got to figure it out over like.
That's the main thing.
However
That's the main
long,
thing.
You know, yeah.
You know, I'm not. From what I hear, when I listen to seasoned veterans talk that are touring, like their biggest issue is they have they're performing to crowds that are there to see them. They can go out and kill every night if they do their tight material.
I've heard. That's what I heard, but it's like that can almost in a way make you like rusty.
Weaker, right? So they have to be brave enough to write new shit and try it in front of the crowd, their own crowds. Yeah. Right?
Or no, not even in their own crowds. I've heard like guys, you know, like I heard like Louis C.K. talk about this or something. Like he'd go, you know, like or Chappelle.
Just go to a random bar.
No, one that they don't know they're at. And you go because that's the most authentic room you're gonna get of like.
I have a hard time.
Most honest opinion.
I heard Louis talking about this when he was working on material. I have a hard time that somebody going to, you know, maybe I'm thinking about our open mic crowds. I don't think a lot of those people are comedy fans. Maybe they're just kind of like, yeah, let's try this comedy thing. It's a free show, right? Yeah. But I feel like maybe some of them are fucking enthusiasts if they're there, like, you know, regulars. Yeah. So like, but Louis C.K., man, I have a hard time believing that he walks into any comedy bar and like nobody knows who he is. I really have a hard time believing that.
It's probably hard, but like, it's the best that they can get. I heard Ron told me a story of how early on in he was at Yuck Yucks, like, you know, I think in the 90s, right?
Nice, yeah. Okay.
So in the 2000s, like he was on a show. I don't know the whole story, but the gist of it is that Chris Rock like was a surprise drop in.
Oh shit!
And this is like in like the 2000s, like maybe 2008.
So that's when he was like peak, right?
Yeah, and
like he talks about when is Chris Rock?
He had already he had already popped off in the 90s, right? So he had already been a legend at this point.
But he was really in 2000. He was still fucking at the top.
So he's telling him, he's like, "How do you like?" It was just something to the effect of like that night for him was like his version of practice.
Yes, exactly, you know, right? Like, you have to do clubs. You can't just you go from open mics to just clubs, right?
Yeah.
But I wonder how, because like once you get famous, right? Comedy, a lot of it is about. Is my cat gonna drink from your cup now? Yeah. Just trying to have a little
sippy.
Let's get faded, bro.
Let's get it.
Let's get that water. Yeah. I wonder how comics that are very successful stay relatable, right? Because Chris Rock, for example, right?
Oh yeah.
Or Kevin Hart, like usually their early stuff is just amazing, and that makes sense because that's the stuff that made them who they are.
Oh yeah,
their first special, it's always the best, and it makes sense because once you get a taste of success, right? Like, how are you going to relate to your audience when you're flying private jets and eating, fancy meals? You can't joke about that stuff as much.
I think you can, but it's just a matter of talking about it in a way that makes them understand where you're coming from, and doesn't. You have to come at it from like a human and your personal perspective to make them understand why you're even talking about that stuff in the first place. It's like almost like, at least the way I would imagine doing it is like, let's say all of a sudden you had all this money. It's like almost from the perspective of someone that's just getting this money and like figuring out like, oh wow, you can do this shit or whatever, like just showing them, like, make them understand it in a way that doesn't seem like being a dick or something.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's you can do it, but that's part of
harder.
That's part of being a comic, right? And it's just like, it's a different.
That's problems for us in like 50 years.
Yeah.
For you, more like maybe.
Hey, who knows?
They're coming for Matt Rife next week. So
yeah. I'm coming for him. I'm gonna sneak up on him.
I'll be the old Filipino
I'm literally
guy.
Coming for him. I'm gonna like figure out which hotel he's in, and I'm gonna like fucking choke him out in the back. But I was like eating the fancy steaks. I don't know, that'd be nice. Do you have like a diet? Do you follow? I know you work out, so do you?
No, the closest, the extent of my diet is like, I don't have like a diet. Like my only routine is that I make like my morning protein shake. I have 2 scoops of whey protein. I have 2 cups.
Whey fucks my stomach up. I'm lactose intolerant.
I found out I am too.
There's a movement out there that people are saying, quote unquote, lactose intolerant is cap.
Yeah.
Fuck you. Yeah. It's a real struggle, and I deal with it daily, okay? I have 1 fucking spoon of ice cream. I am on the shitter 4 minutes later. Like, it's like clockwork. Yeah. And you know what? It's a problem that I deal with because like dairy is too good. You just have to suck it up. So it's a real thing that people struggle with, but it is cap, because I feel like just fucking tough it out. Some things in life are worth it, right? Like, hangovers suck, but sometimes you want to enjoy a nice drink. Yeah. Yes, diarrhea sucks, but sometimes you want a fucking vanilla cone, right? Like, I don't know. So it's hashtag fucking shout out to YMH as well. Bisexuality is cap, and lactose intolerance is cap.
Yes. I did recently find out that I am too. Like, technically, like, I did this like.
So whey protein, how does that treat your stomach? You said whey protein.
The extent for me is like I just fart a lot.
Yeah.
Like, but it's, I don't think
scoops.
I do
2 scoops. Fucks me up.
Oh yeah,
I can do 1.
I don't think I'm that bad, but I did find out through this like allergy test. Like, it was this whole thing. Like,
would they like prick your arm?
No, it's not that one. Like, I forgot the name, exactly name, but it's my girlfriend's like mom. Like, she has this business where basically it sends like these waves.
23andMe?
Yeah, it's like this electrical current, and like based on.
Is this some like crystal healing shit?
No, it's like there's like another. It's like, it's actually like with technology. You're holding this thing, and then it's like almost like there's this other like metal thing they put to you, and then like based on like the reading it gets, like for the specific like whatever it is, like let's say it's like dairy or cheese or something, like whatever number you get like will be like how intolerant you are, like if it's within this range or this range. It's weird, but yeah, like anyways, like a lot of like cheese and dairy, like it's like considered like high, like not great for me to have.
Okay, fair.
It isn't
you're
usually
slightly lactose intolerant, basically.
But the extent for me is like farting.
Yeah, so you're good. You got those. They sell those. So the lactose intolerance is this. Here's my master's degree coming in. It's you have a physical lack of this enzyme called lactase, which essentially helps you digest milk, which is a sugar, right?
Yeah,
lactose.
I think I know nothing about science.
Yeah. It's a saccharide that breaks up into. It's a polysaccharide that breaks up into like smaller parts, and in order to digest them, you have to use this enzyme to break them up. And you don't have it. Babies have it to digest breast milk, but as you get older, you lose it. And depending on it's very culture dependent. So a lot of actually Asian descending cultures are very lactose intolerant just because of the like there's little accessibility to milk in those areas as opposed to like Slavic, which I am actually. That so I don't know why I got the short end of the lactose stick, but whatever. But
can't have it all.
Yeah, it sucks. But the whey protein, man, I found this one brand that is actually okay on my stomach, and it's expensive. ISO something. I'll show you after. I don't do free plugs. You gotta pay me.
Yeah. But
and creatine, baby.
Yeah. Oh, of course. No, I was gonna say. So we didn't go into it. So I do 2 scoops of that. I have 2 cups of like Greek yogurt.
Nice.
So that's like an extra like.
You're just a milk guy, huge milk guy.
Yeah.
Fucking.
Yeah. And then scoop of creatine.
Yeah.
And then whatever milk or sometimes even water is like enough, like because there's so much already of the yogurt and it's like enough for flavor.
Yeah, it's thick.
And I'll do like a banana usually.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have a preference for like flavor of protein?
Chocolate. I don't like those fancy flavors. Usually it's too chocolate, like safe. You know?
Yeah. Another one. It's anything that's like
oat milk,
sweet but like neutral. Yeah, oat milk. I'll do. Yeah.
Oat milk is good. But recently found out I was like addicted to this shit. I'm like, why do I like oat milk so much? I looked at the fucking nutrition facts. It's all sugar, man. So much sugar.
It's not even good.
It's not even good. No, you're drinking. Lied to. You're drinking syrup. It's so bad for you.
But that's why I like it so much.
Yeah. It's delicious.
Yeah, oat
I'm
milk,
like, this is good for you fucking chugging jugs of oat milk per day. It's all sugar. You're literally might as well just be drinking corn syrup.
You ever do almond milk?
Yeah, but it's not as good. It tastes like wood.
Yeah.
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 It literally tastes like you're fucking like you blended some bark and like shoved that down your guzzle. It literally tastes like wood. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I kind of like it though.
You like the wood taste? You're a big wood guy?
Yeah, I'm a wood guy.
You like...
I wear
milk
like,
and wood.
I wear lumberjack shirts, the flannels. Yeah, I'm a wood kind of guy.
Nice. Chopping it down. You're one of those guys, when you see the fucking breastfeeding videos on Instagram, right? You're just like,
I love it.
Double tap that shit.
And then I unlike it and double tap it again. Yeah.
To make sure the algorithm sends you more.
And because I like that little animation they added.
Yeah.
You know, with the likes now on, you notice, is it on IG? Like,
I don't think it's on IG. I don't know. Maybe.
No,
you have an Android?
No, I have Apple.
Oh.
I swear, like, I saw memes about it. I swear.
Dude, you're allowed to stay.
Yeah.
I was scared that was a test. You passed.
Yeah, but I was right.
I don't know.
Like, okay, yeah, like when you try, like when you do, like next time, try this. When you like on Instagram, because I saw memes about it, and I was like, I'm pretty sure, unless someone tried. Now. Yeah. That like cool. Yes, like the heart comes out and flies up.
Your dopamine system. They're like doing these little tiny things. You're like, oh my god, it's a cute little animation, and then you get addicted to that shit, and then you
just keep doing
start watching fucking breastfeeding videos instead of going to work and paying your mortgage. Your family leaves you. You're alone on the street. That's what causes homelessness. That's the whole problem. It's all Zuckerberg's fault, basically. Apple and Zuckerberg.
It's all the heart animations. Did it all. Yeah, fucking us up.
Yeah. Listen, it's not direct, but I'm just. Tinfoil hat. I'm just saying it's possible. It's possible.
Yeah.
Starting a conspiracy.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. That's sick. We've done an hour. So time flies when you're having fun, right? Yeah.
We didn't even start talking yet.
Yeah, I know, right? I actually haven't been recording this the whole time. Yeah, we're just speaking into these mics for fun. Dude. We're pretending.
Yeah. And this is episode 4, not 3.
Yeah. I'm gonna stop saying like this is episode. Just like start introducing the guests. Doesn't matter anymore. It's not like anybody. Imagine like somebody actually cares. Like, no, it's episode 4. I'm not listening now. Yeah. But do you want to plug anything? Plug your Instagram.
Oh, sure,
man.
Man. If you want to follow me on Instagram, it's at Aaron Redublo, Aaron. And then RED as in dad, U, B as in Bob, LO, Redublo.
And then YouTube?
If you want my YouTube, TikTok, and my other Instagram account. So this is like my skit channel. It's Tito Please. So TITO Please.
Yeah, we're about to do a little collaboration on a skit. So a little hot take here behind the scenes. So let's go get that done. Thank you for listening.
Thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, thanks for coming by, Aaron.
Yeah, dude.
If you like the podcast, please rate it 5 stars, subscribe, fucking send me money so I don't have to self-feed pics on the internet. Goodbye, everybody.
Peace.